So the other day, I come to find out, after a trip to the local drugstore, that there's a whole bunch of kids that go to the local high school that are dressing up as cats, calling themselves furries, and they're pooping in litter boxes. And the litter boxes are provided by the school. You ain't gonna believe this nonsense.
Oh, that's nasty.
Welcome to Cake Hole Nation, where we always encourage you to run your big, fat, freaking cake hole.
All right, everyone, set your cake hole.
So here's what happened. Is I roll out to pick up some eggs and milk at this local drugstore. I call it a drugstore, but they got everything. Cookies, milk, aspirin, lawn chairs. You know the scene. So when I get there, what I was really amazed by is that there was two kids at the counter when I went to check out to take my money that were normal. Now, normally when I go to this place, the kids at the register got pink and green hair, crazy clothing. You can't figure out if they're a boy or girl. And they got like just all kinds of metal shit poked through their faces. It looks like they're bobbing for apples in a flippin' tackle box. Terrible. As I'm getting wrung out, I notice that the kids are squared away, which I can't believe. There's a normal kid in this place. And they're bitching about these other kids at school dressing up like cats. And I just couldn't even believe it. I'd heard of this stuff before, but I'd never seen anybody that actually saw it happen. So I asked them, I said, is this for real? I asked the kids, and they insisted that this was no joke, and that there were kids dressed up as cats running around the high school, calling themselves furries. So I even went as far as to ask, I said I'd heard that they poop in a litter box. And these kids confirmed it. Not only did they confirm that these kids, other kids dressed as furries, are pooping in litter boxes at the high school, but that the high school gives them the litter boxes.
If you want to get your hands on this sweet Trump shirt in time for St. Patrick's Day, stick around till the end. We will even give you a discount code to get 10% off your first order.
Now, when I was in high school, there were some weird kids. But there was nobody running around dressed up like a cat pooping in a litter box. The worst we had, these kids would dress up in all black, paint their faces white, call themselves emos. They listened to weird music, but it didn't hurt nobody, it didn't bug nobody, so we left them alone. But I can only imagine that in the 1980s, had I decided, or anybody decided, to show up at high school and poop in a litter box, somebody would have went upside their head. It probably wouldn't even have been a teacher. One of the other kids would have done it.
I reckon this could be a job for Mr. Hank!
Now, since I don't know this to be true because I didn't see it with my own eyes, I strongly feel it is since I've heard about it and other people are telling me about it. I'm not going to tell you what school it is, but I can tell you that it's in the heartland of Ohio. This isn't Portland, Washington, D.C., or the Northeast. This is the heartland of Ohio, which is kind of weird that this kind of activity is tolerated around here. Now, this may all seem a little bit weird and so forth, which everybody could just have a good laugh at it. But what's really sad about the whole thing is that nobody's telling these kids that you can't go through life dressed as a cat and expect to live and have an existence. And I think that their parents and the teachers here are doing a great disservice. It's an unrealistic idea that when you go to school, that everybody just pats you on the head and tells you, you can be whatever you want, you can be yourself. And it's been taken so far as kids are dressing up as cats and pooping in litter boxes. So, good luck getting yourself a job dressed as a cat at a Fortune 500 company or running a bulldozer at a construction site. Because ain't nobody going to hire you. The only people going to hire you is a minimum wage job maybe at the Halloween store, or some non-customer facing job of some sort, which is fine. All work is honorable. But if you want to own a house, if you want to have a 401k, if someday you want to retire, you got to get a career. It's worth more than minimum wage.
Hey, you stop laughing right now.
So, if you're a parent of a child who has the bright idea to dress up as a cat and poop in a litter box, you kind of have an obligation to tell them to stop it. Just stop it. Be stupid. And if you're a teacher, you shouldn't be encouraging this either. Encourage them to learn something, some kind of life skill, build something, study something. It's not realistic. If you're involved in this and you're a teacher, shame on you. You're a scumbag. So, as I promised, if you want to get your hands on that sweet t-shirt we showed you earlier, go to the comments section, click on a link, and you'll see all kinds of stuff in there besides that shirt. You get 10% off your first order by entering the discount code CAKEHOLE. There's a lot of stuff in there we can't even show you on YouTube because it's so damn obnoxious. So if you like that kind of stuff, go on in there. If you're scared, stay out. If you liked the video, if you found it amusing or disturbing, which is probably both, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more stuff like this, where we're running our cake holes, hit the subscribe button. It helps us out. Thanks a lot for hanging out with Cake Hole Nation. Remember, thank a vet, freedom isn't free. And as always, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Burning River Ranch Boutique. They're the ones that give us the hats. They're the ones that give us the shirts. Click the link. That's nasty. Ugh. Ugh.